Passport to Oddworld.
I have been reviewing the first two Abe games, so now I'm going to review this. I haven't played this for ages, so I do apologise if I get things wrong. You don't just play as Abe now, you play as Abe and Munch. I don't know if Munch is kind of the main character now. Yeah, it's very different. Obviously it's 3D now, but I think it's really good. It was supposed to originally be released on PS2, and I've seen footage for it, and it looks amazing. What a shame they didn't keep it on PS2 and keep all that stuff in it. It's been taken over to Xbox, which is weird because Abe was always a PlayStation title, but it's hard to. It's an amazing game, and it has replay value like the other two, and I still love playing it now. I can't play it, unfortunately. Please note this. This is not completely backwards compatible. It plays, but the sound is dodgy. You can't even hear the sound really. It plays reasonably well. The humour's amazing still.
Makers of butt flow laxatives. When your colon's slowing you down, get with the flow.
It is very fiddly in areas. The camera is quite awful, and I find he's not very accurate at jumping. He bounces really. I mean, he's very bouncy when he jumps. He goes very high, and he kind of bounces, I think, when he lands, which can be quite annoying when you're trying to do an intricate, is that the word, intricate jump. I find it's quite hard, not hard to control, but when you are trying to do intricate jumps and things and angling, it can be quite hard. But yeah, basically the plot of this is Abe's been told that he needs to find Munch to help him. I can't remember the reason, I am so sorry. And in the end, Munch basically is the last Gabbit. Who's a Gabbit? Munch, it's called a Gabbit. He is the last one. I can't think why the others have been captured now. I think it's for their lungs. I'm really so sorry, I haven't played it so long, so I do apologise. I have played it a few times and I should know. But yeah, they capture, they set a trap up with his sound is calling for his Gabbit friends, and basically here's one calling back and it's like, oh my god, I'm not the only one. So he hops along and he's hearing it and it's right there. Wee-woo, wee-woo. And he jumps through and now it's a bear trap with a sound.
Uh-oh, Mr. Gabbit. That's a bear trap. I wouldn't go near that if I were you.
That sounds was basically to lure him in. So he's there in a bear trap. And that they come and get him. And basically they put this weird kind of chip in his head I think it attracts fuzzles. They want fuzzles to test on. Munch is a very weird looking character. He's very cute.
Ooh, he's a cute one, huh?
But he's basically got one leg, so on land he's not very good. He's very slow and not very efficient really, but in water he's amazing. You can swim in this just on the surface, but when he's in water he's away. He can jump really high in the water. So Munch has to help Fuzzles, which are funny little creatures, furry things with teeth. Very vicious, but he saves them, so because this thing that they plant in his head allows him to zap electricity out so he can free the Fuzzles from cages and things. So the Fuzzles help him a lot. This game is very forgiving on the whole. If a Madokan snuffs it, you can bring him back. They're not so weak, the Madokans in this. They can fight back. You can find like tribal ones and they're out in the wild and they've got like weapons, clubs, and you can upgrade them to have like bows and things. And you go beat them up. A load of them run at slugs and they beat the crap. That is funny. And when you tell Madokans to work, they have a bit of an attitude. They're like, "Aw man," yeah, whatever. And some of them just go, "Oh," and get on with it. See, they've got quite a bit of attitude in this, and they do fight back a lot. Obviously, later on, you do get the typical slavery Madokans you have to save, which is good. There's vending machines in this now.
And don't forget, every conceivable part of Oddworld is jammed with handy-dandy vendo machines for your snacking convenience.
You get Espresso's Bounce, Aqua Bounce, which is for Munch, obviously. Because Abe can't swim, he sinks like a brick. You get Zap for Munch, which allows you to properly zap enemies. Takes ages though. You get an invisibility. And they've written down Espresso here twice here for some reason. There's a Gluckan later on called Lulu. He's basically worthless, penniless. And you have to control them. You have to control other Gluckans, rich, powerful Gluckans, and there's like a Lulu fund. I can't remember what he's being funded for, but I think he's basically begging for money. And obviously the other Gluckans are like, "I'm not giving you any money, you're poor and I'm rich." So basically you have to take control of the other Gluckans and you have to deposit all their money into the Lulu fund. And in the end you have to get him so powerful, he's got so much money, because there's the last can of Gabiar, which is Gabbit eggs, being auctioned. Basically the last chance for Munch to repopulate the species, so to speak. So you have to get Lulu rich and powerful, and in the end he's got so much money you have to possess him, and he goes to an auction and he pretty much blows all his money on the Gabiar, and in the end he snaps the hat and he's like, "No!" But they've got no arms, so he's like, "No!" because he's lost all his money. But you basically got your can of Gabiar back. I'm just laughing at the meeps. The meeps are cute. Cute. I want to pet one. The description for a meep: they're docile and they're furry. Oddworld at its finest. Look, there's a meep. Isn't it cute? It's basically a one-legged, one-eyed sheep. And you have to herd them in later. Some of them could look funny. Look at the hairdo on him. Let me think. There's all kinds of bad guys now. It's very hard game. There's some things in it that are really difficult. Abe later has to save Madokan eggs, but you have to be very careful when you want to save all of those, because the slightest you have to drop them, like throw them into like this transportation thing. If you get it slightly wrong, you've lined off ever so slightly wrong, you can break them. And if you're like me and you want to save all of them you have to restart. But I think there's a quick save function in this, so it's not so bad. Yes, the fuzzles, you can't resurrect them, so if they die, they're dead, unless you restart it. So if you want to save them all, you have to play the best you can, because there's things at the start where there's like loads of bad guys, and you can get the fuzzles to help you, but you have to kind of help as well without getting beaten up and killed. Otherwise the fuzzles wouldn't survive, so you just have to play at your best if you want to save all the fuzzles. I think you can resurrect like the wild Medokans, the tribal Medokans. I'm sure you can resurrect them, because that's not so bad. What was I going to add? Oh yeah, you have to collect karma now, and there's like green balls. They're called spooch shrubs, I think. Spruce shrubs, something. You can use them for a lot of things. To bring back your Medokans, you need them for that. And Abe, if you chance next to, when you've collected one, it shrivels up to a tiny little pod, and if Abe chants next to one, it grows back, but it's very time consuming, so you sort of only do that when you can't find any more. I absolutely adore the fact that the tribal Medokans can beat the shit out of the slugs. It's so funny, especially when you got like 10 Medokan and you go beat them up, and they're like, yeah, and they run in and like poof, 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 poof. And then they have a little celebration, yeah. There's like a grappling machine, like a grabbing machine in the arcade, and you can use it to get like Abe up the switches and things later on. There's only like the odd bit with the grabber machine type thing, but there's like some pens with slogs in, and there's like walking about security outside, and you can grab the slogs and pick them up and put them over the slugs, and they run about like crazy chasing after them. And there's like a fan in the room as well, where they dispose of like rubbish and old things and stuff they don't need, ex-employees and things. And sometimes they run into the fan and they're like running away, but they get sucked in, and it's funny to sometimes just drop them in anyway in front of it. I sometimes do it with Medokans when I'm bored, or with Abe even when I'm bored. Poor Munch, he's trying to hop away. So there is some really good humorous bits in this, and some really funny bits that have you laughing out loud. But it is kind of let down by the camera, and quite awkward controls. No, I think it's pretty much just the controls and camera that let this game down, because I can't think of anything else. There's no secrets in this, I don't think. There's absolutely no secrets, so that's a bit of a shame. But basically it's a very good game, but I don't think it's as good as Exodus. I don't know, it's hard to say. I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, so it's higher than the first one, but definitely not as good as Exodus. It takes a lot of beating. So yeah, I don't think there's a lot more to add. I'm very sorry that my review was very, I don't know, not very good. It's very funny. It has got replay value, I'm not saying it hasn't. It really does, and I'm gutted that I can't play it on 360. Right, I'm gonna go. I hope you've enjoyed my Oddworld reviews. I would do Stranger's Wrath, but I've only played it once. I don't own it, so there'd be no point. So I hope you've enjoyed the 3 games that I reviewed. I'm so sorry that this one wasn't very good, but I would definitely give it, yeah, I would say 9 out of 10. But the camera angles and stuff are quite dodgy, and he jumps a little too inaccurately. So other than that, it's a very good game. And if you haven't played any of the Oddworld games, what are you doing? Are you crazy? They're fantastic. The humour, the gameplay, even saving your Medokans, it's fantastic. You have to play them. So I'm going to go and leave it at that.
And Lungbuster Sigs. Who wants to grow old anyway? where gluckins are respected, and moodakins are spit on for being the dirty, worthless slaves that they are.